Hello, everyone. My name is Eric Claudio, your favorite realtor, aka Cloud E, or not generic Eric, because I keep it real with you. Welcome to Let's Get Real podcast interviews, where I interview interesting, fun, and successful individuals who have devoted themselves to their craft in order to share with you, the viewer, a real perspective of what people are doing to reach their goals and live happy, fulfilling lives in today's world. My guest today is a man who has shown me time and time again that he executes on his visions and goals. Someone who has the patience and confidence to take apart and put together complicated vehicles. He says they're just big Legos. Please welcome Porsche Technician, car enthusiast, and my close friend, Aldo Montenegro. Come on, bro. Give me a little clap. One day I tell all my guests, Aldo, there will be an audience here. It's gonna be like Oprah, bro. We're gonna be like, you get a car, you get a Porsche, you get a Porsche, you get a Datsun, you get a Datsun. So
That'll be the day.
It'll be the day,
That'll be
bro.
the day.
So for now, it's just us, and we'll get excited about what we're
Sure.
doing here, man. Appreciate you being here, bro. How you doing today?
Good. Glad to be here.
Yeah,
Can't complain. We're alive and breathing, so
absolutely, dog. I know I talked a little bit about you in the intro, briefly, but can you share with the audience who you are? Give us your story in a nutshell.
name's Aldo, 28 years old.
Hi, Aldo.
Grew up in Los Angeles, California, so I'm local here. I've always had a passion for cars.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that honestly burns.
Yeah.
Whether it be guns, motorcycles, anything anything that has an engine pretty much.
All right. All right.
I've always liked tinkering with stuff. So very early on I knew that I did not want to work somewhere where I had four walls and I was
Yeah.
like blocked in this little screen or
Yeah. You wanted to use your
I
hands.
need to do something. And I was gonna venture out and growing up I always worked on cars majorly with my dad and all that and I found the passion for that.
Mm-hmm.
And so we always had a little project car or like if it wasn't a project car, it was a personal car that we always did something to it. It always needed something type of thing,
Yeah.
But after high school and all that, it's like I knew I wanted to pursue something in the automotive field. But looking into it, it's like I didn't really see anything that sounded successful in a way. Like
Yeah.
I can work in a car and I'd be set and I
Right.
wouldn't have to worry about anything. So I went to college for a semester.
Yeah.
And I was going to pursue business.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe I'll open up my own shop one day.
There you go. There you go.
I know people who like cars as well, and
Yeah.
I'll be the one managing it in a way. So I went to
Right.
school. I started school for that, and just being there, I'm like, this is not for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I knew what I wanted, and I tried changing that
Yeah.
to make a smart choice, I guess.
Right.
Like what I can put it like.
I'm glad you bring that up, bro, because that's part of the conversation I had planned out here is having a trade in a field versus going to college
Mhm.
and getting a degree. Obviously I kind of went down that road myself as a real estate agent, just like you. I was going to college for about 6 weeks. And at the same time, I was taking my real estate course, and I was just so much more excited about that. So it's like, why continue on for 4 or 5 years of college when you already know what you want to do?
Yeah, and it's one of those things where it's like you know what you want, and at one point it's like I feel like I was trying to please other people,
Yeah,
and it's like this is the path that they want me to go through.
right.
Whether it be my parents, my family, people I looked up to, whatever. They saw
Right.
a certain vision. Even teachers, school teachers, like
Yeah,
whenever I talk to certain school teachers, they would be like, "Oh, like you should look into college. Like that's not gonna get you anywhere. Like you have to get a degree in something to become something,
right.
But it's like that's not what I like to do.
Right. I think
And
that little image is being disrupted heavily
oh
right
yeah,
now.
yeah, especially with all social media influencers.
Right.
Um,
Doing things like this in my garage, just really with the technology that's available, you could do anything and expose it to so many people.
yeah,
I think this generation is probably one of the first ones is experiencing this change because the teachers and other adult family members that are trying to lead us down college, they're leading us that way because they think that's what's best for us.
and maybe that might have been the best option for them at that time. It's like
Exactly.
nobody succeeded in anything else, but you had to go to college, get a degree. You
Right.
got the great jobs. If now you're just
Right.
doing something small as mom and pop's thing, your own little business that you're just getting by just
It's
to survive.
changed.
It's changed
It's
a lot.
changed completely. And I think a degree does have value.
It does. It really does.
Depending on your field. But I just I would just get a little confused when I'd see people bust their ass for 4 or 5 years of college, come out with a degree, and then not do anything in that field.
And that's another thing. Like when I early on, it's like that's something that I did not want to do. It's like if I go down this path, I'm gonna spend all this time and money investing into this thing that
Yeah.
I most likely maybe won't have a job coming
Right.
out of school for that. Or if I do end up getting a job, it's gonna be somewhere like really low tier, and I'm gonna have to work my way up
Yeah.
in order to actually make it worthwhile.
Right.
But at the same time, it's like there's a lot of people that follow that path, and they succeed in it, and we
Yeah.
need those people.
Exactly.
You know, that just
Exactly.
me and you weren't one of those people, and
I don't want a surgeon that didn't go to college to operate on me.
yeah, or someone that doesn't like that feels like, oh, let me try this.
Right.
You know,
Right.
but
Exactly.
it's you need people who go to trade. We need people doing trades.
Yeah.
That's always needed. It's something
Right.
that's not gonna go away. Blue collar jobs, pretty
Right.
much. Surgeons,
Exactly.
doctors, lawyers.
And
You know.
I think us talking about this and continuing to spread this message is huge, bro. Because there's I have a brother that's a senior in high school right now, Uriel. You remember,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
know
yeah.
him. And there's so many kids out there that are gonna watch this at some point, and us talking about it and continue to push this message gives it more value because there's still kids out there right now that are being told, yo, you have to go to college.
Yeah.
But that's not the truth. We're examples of it, how you don't have to and you can find your own way.
Yeah.
I'm trying to avoid saying, I'm keeping that in my head so much. I learned from my other interviews.
Don't even think about it. Be natural, be natural.
But Aldo, back to you a little bit, bro. Do you remember what was the first maybe car project or task that you may have done where you were like, oh man, that was cool? Because as you know, bro, I mean, full disclosure, we haven't told everybody that Aldo's my good friend. We got Gmoe behind the camera. Shout out. Our girlfriends are all hanging out inside in the other room. So we're a close group here. But I just wanted to disclose that. But I've talked to you, bro, about things messing up on my car. I'm not a mechanic. And you YouTube it, you figure it out, you fix it, and boom, you get it to work. And it's such an exciting feeling, like I got that done. Do you remember when was that first moment for you, bro?
Personally, myself, like doing it myself.
Yeah.
It was probably in high school. I had my first car.
Uh-huh.
It was a 95 240 SX, blown motor,
Uh-huh.
automatic, and
Whack.
yes,
You're like, well, you're having whack.
Now I have an automatic too, but
Bro, you had a car in high school. That's cool.
But that's the thing. It's like I got a job in high school.
Yeah.
We were able to get the car for $1,700, whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
It didn't even run. I bought a rolling
Yeah.
piece of metal, you know.
Right.
But it's like we bought a motor for it.
Yeah.
It was $350. Threw that in there in the backyard, and it ran.
That
And
sounds
then-
like a pretty big project for your first
see,
project,
it's like
bro.
so I had been tinkering with cars.
Okay.
With my dad prior
Yeah.
to that, but this is one of like those really big jobs. There's like I kind of did it by myself with a little bit of help,
Yeah.
and that just got the car running.
Yeah.
But one of the moments where it's like that big satisfaction that I
Right.
like, damn, I did all this. It's when I actually converted it from an auto to a manual,
Oh.
and I gather all the pieces, and in the backyard or something. Online, you go online, you read up from people who have done it before, and
Right.
you're just kind of like guiding yourself in a way because everybody does something a little different,
Yeah.
but the majority of the pieces are all the same. So
Right.
that was one of those things where it's like you rip all this stuff apart and then put it back in.
And what does that take, bro? That's changing out an entire transmission? Is that what that is?
Yeah, you gotta get the transmission, the clutch pedals, the different brake pedal, wiring.
Yeah.
It's drive shaft.
And at this point, bro, you're a Porsche technician.
Yeah.
Correct. Let's settle the debate, Aldo. Is it Porsche or is it Porsche?
I'm glad you asked. It's eating me up a little bit. It's Porsche.
It's Porsche.
Porsche.
Don't
Porsche.
tell the people, bro. Get it right. I'm not gonna say it wrong.
It's
ever again.
Porsche.
Porsche.
It's a
Don't
last.
forget.
The thing is, it's a last name. So
Oh,
it's like,
okay.
how would you feel if like somebody like mispronounced your
right.
last name? It's like, no, it's not that. It's pronounced like this.
Right.
Being something so different, it's not
Yeah.
like your regular last name that you hear all the time,
Yeah. So
it's-
you're a Porsche technician.
I'm a
now.
Porsche technician.
So dude, you're freaking working on complicated vehicles. Changing times now, they're becoming electric. You told me you're learning about that transition.
Yeah,
So that's crazy, bro. You know how to build a whole car.
I did technically.
Yeah,
You know, my
with this
Datsun
with this
with the Datsun.
with the
Yeah,
Datsun. Tell us about your Datsun, bro. It's all over your Instagram,
yeah.
right? I see it more than your face.
I
You're
don't
very
think I have a picture of my face on my Instagram. Honestly,
you're very proud of
maybe
it. I love it.
I am.
I know it took you a long time, but what was that process like for you, bro? You've told me, but I'd like you to share
Yeah,
with the
yeah.
people.
It's one of those things where, um, after so I bought this car. We bought this car with my uncles a year after I got out of high school,
Yeah,
and we picked it up for $3,000 at the time. You won't find them for $3,000 anymore.
yeah. Just this is just like the frame or the
It was a complete car.
okay.
It didn't run. It honestly barely ran.
Okay.
Like you started up and it did not want to stay up. You
Okay.
know. But we got that, and then during that first year after high school, we redid the motor, and then I started doing all the front suspension stuff for it, and then I went off to school.
Okay.
Because during that time I was still going to UTI. That's where I went for my
Okay.
trade program, and I got into the Porsche apprenticeship program there, and I had to go to Atlanta for 6 months.
Okay.
So that's where I got trained for the whole Porsche thing. So I was away from home from the car for those 6 months, and then when I got back from that after I finished my school,
Yeah.
I was hired immediately. I was hired before I came back.
So talk to me about that process, bro. We'll get back to the Datsun in a bit.
Yeah.
But I have like my brother Johnny.
Yeah.
Shout out my brothers. Shout out Uriel earlier. Shout out Johnny now. Who he's going to MIT right now.
UTI?
No, UTI, not MIT.
Woo! Oh, so a mechanical engineer. He's gonna be designed like
Wrong acronym, bro. Wrong acronym. What's it called again?
UTI.
He's going to UTI right now. So I'd like to share with somebody in the audience who may want to become a Porsche technician like yourself.
Yeah.
Like, what do you recommend they do? What's the first step? I know you kind of went through it right now, but just give us a little checklist for those people.
So the first thing is I do research before you go to any of these schools, because there's so many
Okay.
trade schools you can go to for automotive or whatever the case may
Okay.
be. You know, whether it be culinary, automotive, motorcycles.
Gotcha.
They all have different things.
So step one, research and pick a trade school.
Pick a trade school and research it, and make sure they have what you want to do.
Okay.
Because I know when I was looking, UTI was the only one that had a partnership with Porsche.
Okay.
So going into UTI, I knew that was the path that I wanted to go to.
You were looking at that angle.
My angle was Porsche. It's like I have to get into Porsche.
Why Porsche?
It's one of those things. So growing up as well, one of my uncles, he bought his first Porsche. You know, he's honestly one of the most successful people in my family.
Cool.
I look up to him a lot.
Oh yeah, I met your uncle. I showed him my property, right?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
his name?
yeah, Doug.
Doug.
Yeah,
Yeah, I remember
Doug.
Doug. Doug's cool.
Yeah, yeah. So he's one of the most successful people in our family. He does a lot for everybody. He's a genuinely good guy.
Awesome.
But he first bought his first Porsche back in, might have been like 09 maybe.
Okay.
05, 07 to 09, I'd say. And I fell in love with it, dude.
Oh,
It was,
nice.
I've never seen anything like it. You know, we grew up with Nissans,
Yeah.
Toyotas,
Right.
and never like a newer model. It was always like something older. Up until about like 07, 08, we got
Yeah.
a new Nissan.
Right.
But seeing that, it's like, even if it was like 3-4 years older,
Yeah.
it was just so
It's so-
advanced.
so
It's so
nice,
it's just
yeah.
completely different car.
So
and-
you fell in love with the Porsche brand,
Yeah.
right? So you went into your trade school already having that end goal in mind.
Yeah.
So if you have a clear enough goal of knowing where you want to end up working, consider that when you're researching trade schools. Is
Yeah.
What you're saying.
Yeah, because you don't want to go, like, for example, if I would have gone to, there was the other trade school. I think there's like Wild Tech.
Okay.
It's another automotive trade school.
Yeah.
I would have gone there. You learn the basics.
Okay.
You know how to work in cars, all the components, names, this
Right.
and that. How to take a whole engine apart, put it back together. But at the end of the day, it's like you pay all this money, and then where you go after that.
Right.
It's like
Right.
where can you go? It's like if that's not gonna get you to your end goal,
Yeah.
then don't consider that.
I see.
That's cool in general,
Gotcha.
you know. But yeah, they had a program with Porsche, so that was my angle. Being there, they didn't make it easy because they had all these pamphlets for all these programs. Like UTI had programs for Mercedes, BMW, Porsche, Nissan, Toyota, all these things. And then they have some that you pay for.
Okay.
So you take your first year and a half of the automotive core program, and then you can branch out to those dealer, what is it, like dealer schools, I
Okay,
guess.
gotcha.
They don't. Some of them they teach at that campus. Some of them they have their own remote like locations, and then they have the ones that are dealer paid for.
Okay,
So the dealer paid for ones, there's the whole process. You have to sign up for it. You have they have to take a test to qualify for it, and then they come out and interview you,
okay,
and then there's a selected class for
gotcha.
that time period of the class length.
Let me ask you something, bro. Did you have to pass your schooling with excellent grades to get hired at Porsche? Or does C's get degrees? Is that apply for trade
No,
school too?
no.
No?
C's don't. No, C's don't get degrees. Well, it's a possibility,
Uh-huh.
but
So
when they're
you did
because
really well
the,
in that school
yeah,
then. Okay.
yeah, I did well. They weed out people because
Okay.
the class is only 12 people.
Okay.
It's 12 people per class. At that time, they were only offering it in Atlanta and in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
So it's 24 students a year that would come out with a job for
So you
Porsche.
gotta have your shit together.
Yeah, so it's like they may be 30 people applying for it,
Right.
but you want to make sure you're one of those top
Right.
12 because if
Yeah.
not, then better luck next time.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Or they put you on a waiting list. But I think for something that high end, you kind of have to
So you
get
were
your stuff together.
You were very intentful coming
Yeah.
into it.
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up. Bro.
Yeah.
That's what's up. I love it, Aldo. Let me see, bro. We did go over several things of my questions here, but let me get to why did you become a Porsche technician? What was that process? We talked about having a trade. I talked to you about executing a vision, and you executed the Datsun. Let's go back to the Datsun.
Datsun.
All right. You bought the barely running vehicle out of high school. You finished your schooling in Atlanta, like we talked about.
Yeah.
And then you came back, and then what were like some challenges, bro? What were some things that you thought were gonna be hard but were actually easy? Like what are some details on that process, bro?
The most difficult part, honestly, was coming back, and that's difficult. Coming back, I had a job,
Yeah.
So
Right.
all the tools, it's a good thing,
Yeah.
So now I have a career, not just
Yeah.
a job for me. But I had all my tools at my uncle's place with the car, and I had a job, so I had to take all my tools into my workplace.
Yeah.
So now I have my workplace, I have my home, and then the car.
Yeah.
Somewhere,
car-
three
somewhere
different
else.
locations.
Right.
So trying to juggle all those three, like grabbing my
Yeah.
tools, going to work in the car, taking it back home, and then taking it back to work
Yeah.
is a hassle. So that car's sad.
You really gotta have some passion to do something after a long day of work and still go do some more. Like you gotta have some passion.
I see, and that's the thing. It's like at the beginning, it's like I was so focused on work. I had to get to know the cars even more. I went to
Yeah.
school for 6 months from. I got trained on the most recent year model ones, but it's
Right.
always changing.
Yeah.
Up until this day, it's always changing. It's never the same thing at work.
Yeah.
You may do a couple of changes. That's the same thing, routine maintenance. But when it comes to issues, it's always changing, man. It's always something different.
Right.
You always have to be on toes learning because if not, you'll stay
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
Especially with all this electrification stuff,
Gotcha.
all these new electric cars.
Yeah, I hear you, bro. You managed to get it all done. How long did it take you from acquiring the car to being done with it?
So
And how much money did it cost?
so we bought the car in 2014, and it sat. No, I worked on it all 2014. Then I went to
Uh-huh.
school, and it sat up until 2021.
Okay.
2021, I had already, it's like I brought the car home.
Okay.
So now it was in Adamago's place.
So it sat for 4 years?
No, it sat for longer than that.
2021, 2014 to 2021?
Yeah,
7 years.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It sat for a while.
Okay, gotcha. You got a nice uncle.
He had the space for it,
Yeah.
It was just there in a little back corner, just
Yeah. Was it Doug?
yeah.
Shout out Doug,
Yeah,
man.
he's a good guy.
Yeah. Very nice.
Oh, uses sells as storage.
So you started working on it again in 2021.
2021, that's when I brought it home, and I had a whole different vision for it this time.
Okay.
At first I was like, it's gonna be a complete restoration.
Yeah.
Bring it back to factory,
Okay.
like it was a brand new car.
Okay.
So now it's like I have to make it my own.
Right.
It's like I have a career. I'm settled where I'm at. I know I can spend some money on it.
Yeah.
And I have the time for it. It's like, and like you said, it's like sometimes you have a long day at work working on cars. It's
Yeah.
physically demanding.
Right.
And you come home. It's like, what makes you want to work on it.
You got to be really
You know,
excited.
you got to
about
be
it.
really excited about it. So it's
Yeah.
like once you start seeing that progress, at first you just stripped the whole car. It was a bare shell.
Right.
It had no interior, no dash, no
Gotcha.
seats, no carpet,
Gotcha.
no engine,
And that's no
nothing.
fun. That's no fun.
But you
Just-
look at it, and you're like, I'm getting somewhere.
Right. Right.
In a way, because you're just turning it
Right.
apart at this point.
You're creating the canvas, bringing
Yeah,
it back
and
to
like
a canvas.
you mentioned earlier, it's like, to me, it's like it's big Legos.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
like you gotta put everything together, and
Right.
you know, and that's a big satisfaction too, though. So you have something that has no suspension, no engine, no interior. It has nothing. It's just
Yeah.
a hunk of metal.
Right.
To getting it to where it's at now, it's a completely running car. You did it all yourself,
Right.
aside from the body work and paint. It's
Yeah.
like, that's a skill I don't have, you know?
Bro, I don't even know how a car goes. My guy. I don't know. I just know I get in my car, I hit the start button,
Yeah.
and I hit the brake and the freaking
And it does what you're
and it
expected
goes,
to do,
bro.
you
It
know.
takes me where I need to go.
And then
you know?
that's one thing I like about this career. It's like you know so much in a way where, to me, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Like there's so many moving parts.
Right.
Like just like this little stand here, it has, you know, three little bolts just to make this thing move like this.
Right.
You know?
It just and it all have to work so
It
perfectly.
all has to work perfectly, timed perfectly,
Yeah.
simultaneously. And I'm talking about, it's not that. It's thousands of pieces, dude.
Yeah.
Like, just to make one thing happen
Right.
right after the other two.
I've learned
glitching
that,
places.
bro.
It's
Freaking putting my hand in those cars, man. It's crazy. Like even like we've talked about, not even it may not even be complicated to change out this piece, but just to get there, you know, you got to take apart so much just to
Yeah.
get to it and change something out. You know?
yeah, because
So-
you see the parts like, oh, it can't be too bad. It has 3 screws,
yeah.
and then you're like, oh wait, it's like way in there. Like, I
Yeah.
have to take apart half this whole side just to get to that part,
Right.
and then put everything back together. Hopefully, it's good.
Exactly.
You know?
And then you go freaking praying. Yeah, but that's cool, man. That's what I was trying to say in my introduction, is like to have the patience and the confidence to do that. You know, you really gotta like what you're doing.
And it's different too, doing it as a hobby, and doing it as a career.
Yeah.
And
You do both.
I do both. Yeah.
You
But-
do
and
it
it's
for
co-
fun
and
and
it-
for pay.
And that's the thing. It's like, you know, it's to a point where it's like you enjoy it at work,
yeah.
and it gets exhausting sometimes. It's overwhelming because
sure.
it's not just working on the car. You have paperwork. You have time.
Yeah.
You know, they promise the customer, oh, it's gonna be done at 3,
Right.
and you have 6 cars to work on, and it's like 2 of them have to go at 10, 2 of them have to go at 2,
Uh-huh.
2 go at 3. Some jobs are bigger than others. Sometimes
Gotcha.
something doesn't go right. Now you're backtracked a little bit, and it's like
Right.
you have to be really good with time management.
I see.
Time
see.
management, and you got to make sure you can't rush things either.
That's
because
crazy,
you got to
bro.
make sure everything's.
That's a good point.
You
know, I
have
didn't-
somebody else's lives on your hands. You know?
Right. I didn't think about that. I just, I pull up, I expect my shit to be done. Right. You don't
Exactly.
really understand what's going on behind the field. How many, like, what's the most amount of cars, bro, at your job that you've dealt with at the same time? You're fixing how many cars at the same time?
So when it comes to fixing at the same time, it's like you have cars come in, you're ordering parts for some cars. You have cars
Okay.
that are apart. You have cars that you come in that same day or from the day before. It's just,
Right.
but as a stack, it gets to a point where they don't fit in the clipboard.
Okay.
And I've counted 19 cars.
19 cars. I mean, I understand some have smaller tasks
Yeah,
than others.
yeah.
But,
it's 19
dealing
cars.
with 19 cars at
Yeah.
the same time, that's a lot.
It's like
bro.
you have to get these 3 out today, and then
Yeah.
you know on Tuesday you're gonna have the parts for this car coming in, but on
Yeah.
Tuesday you also have other cars coming in that may
Right.
need maintenance. So
You got
That's what I'm
that
saying, like,
bandwidth,
that-
bro.
that-
Having that bandwidth, that's insane,
it's
man.
you have to find your own rhythm.
Yeah.
Everybody works, and that's the thing. When I started too, as an apprentice, when I first started there, I kind of hop around with people. So
Uh-huh.
I'd have my mentor, and I worked with him Monday through Friday, and then I worked Tuesday through Friday, and every Saturday, I will work with somebody different, whoever worked that Saturday.
Okay.
So I picked up little habits
Yeah.
from everybody. It's like, and then I used all those things, and I saw what worked for me.
Right.
So I have a little bit of everybody's.
That's how it
you
goes,
know,
bro. That's
You gotta find your rhythm.
that's how it goes. I think part of this show, bro, I really do want a lot of younger people than us to see this stuff and learn from it. We're a few more years ahead in the journey, than when I was like 20, 21 years old,
Yeah,
worrying
yeah.
about what you're gonna do. So I want those kids to understand that Fuck, I lost my train of thought, bro. What were you just saying? You're talking about. Oh yeah, you gotta take from here, take from there, and create your own.
Yeah.
Patterns, your own images of what you're trying to do, because uh, you're gonna like things that person does, and you're gonna like the way that person does, but you don't like the way he does that, right? You think you could do it better, so
Yeah.
you gotta learn from here, learn from there, and then you create your own version of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly, and that's what you did with with your mentors,
Yeah,
right?
and then it's like I've mentored two people now being
Okay.
there, and I'm sure they do the same thing. It's like
Right.
I'm doing things the way that I thought was more efficient for me,
Right.
but if they somehow manage to do it,
Yeah.
differently and better way for them,
Yeah.
or if it works for them better
Yeah.
than it did for me, it's kudos to you.
There you
You
go.
find your own rhythm.
And that's how it should be, because it's a bummer when you hear about people saying, like, I heard a story the other day of somebody is learning how to do welding, and they were like doing it, and they were doing it just as well as the person who was showing them how to do the work, but they were telling them, no, you don't got to do it that, we got to do it like my way, but it's like, bro, if we're getting the job done,
It's like one of those things when you're in school, you're like, "What's 3 times 2?" And you're like, 3 plus 3,
Right.
times 3, whatever. And then it's like, no, you have to do it.
You have to
Show me your work. I'm
Right.
like, I got the same answer.
Yeah, we got the same answer. Does it
It's
matter?
like that's what matters.
Yeah, yeah.
Have results.
Exactly. The
You know?
results are the same, and it doesn't matter at the end of the day. And that's what I've learned, bro. Like, dealing with real estate clients, all the transactions go differently, but as long as it gets done,
It's done.
then everybody's good. You
Yeah.
know, so that's how it should be, bro. So kind of a little bit back to your car. You didn't finish answering my question, bro. How much did it cost you to take that Datsun from what it was to what it is, bro?
So, mind you, this is all just parts.
Right.
Parts wise, because all the labor was done by me,
Right.
aside from the paint.
Okay.
I spent up till now. I stopped counting at a certain point.
I'm
Honestly.
sure. Ballpark.
Because it's like I'm keeping track. I'm keeping all my receipts, so I have something to show for in case I sell it.
Right.
But then you're done and you drive it and you're like, I'm not selling this anymore.
Right.
And then you every months go by and you're like, oh, I'm gonna change this a little bit.
Yeah.
So up till now, I've counted $34,000.
Wow.
It's like buying a new car. But I think
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like I have a brand new 1974
That's
car.
a trip.
That's
true.
Every nut and bolt is new in that car.
Yeah.
So,
but this is over the course of a few years.
Oh, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Gotcha.
yeah.
Yeah, it's worth it, bro. If you love it like that, and you obviously, bro, you're very proud of the car, it's worth it.
Yeah, and then
It's worth
sometimes
everything.
it's not a car that you drive in the rain just because, like, the tires I have on it and the wipers are like,
Really?
it's 1974 wipers,
Okay,
they're just
gotcha.
barely moving, and then the tires are not winter tires at all, so
Yeah.
you try and brake, and then, like, again, it's such a simple car.
Yeah.
It's like when you're pressing on the brake, it's clamping on. It has none of this
Gotcha.
new technology that new cars have where it helps you stop
Gotcha.
certain ways,
Gotcha. And now I went to the link in your bio, and you took it to the track.
Yeah.
How was that?
That's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah.
Because it's different. You drive on the street, you think you're going fast on the freeway, doing 70, 80,
Yeah.
whatever, and then you go to a track, and that 80 miles an hour, 90 miles an hour is completely different from just cruising on the highway,
Gotcha.
And
How high can you push that thing, bro? How fast did you go
at that
on
track, the track that I took it to, Streets of Willow, it's a small track.
it? Uh-huh.
But the longest straight is the first main straight, and then the back straight. I've clocked 94.
94? Okay.
Yeah, according to my little app that I
Gotcha.
have, the little timer. But I'm telling you, that thing feels completely different.
Does it? Because 94 doesn't sound too crazy.
Nah, but when you're in there,
Okay.
I'm telling you, if they have ride-alongs, I'll take you for a ride. And
Let's go, bro.
it's complete, and it's crazy because I'm telling you, it's such a raw car. Like there's no, it's a little rough. It's like, the suspension's rough, the steering's tight. It's an old car, so the metal's thin. You hear all these little rocks coming up on the, on the fenders and stuff.
Gotcha.
And the whole experience is just, it's nuts.
We gotta go.
It's
do
a little
that, bro.
adrenaline pump.
You gotta
It's
take me and Gmoe.
Yeah, for sure.
We have to go check it out.
For sure.
So, something that I want to talk to you about is, now that you've had this car, bro, you've been going to a lot of car shows, and you've been featuring your car. You've been going to car shows.
Yeah.
I've noticed even before that. I want to talk about the value of networking, right? I'm sure you've met tons of people who can afford really nice cars. Can you give me an example, bro, of like a very interesting person you've met? You know that you're like, what? Like you might have met like a millionaire or somebody who had a crazy car or somebody that you were just like, wow, I can't believe I met and connected with that kind of person.
It's kind of weird because you meet people from all types of
Yeah.
like walks of life and stuff, and it's I don't think I've necessarily no I've met some I, I gotta say like hyper or exotic car, but it's like
Yeah.
Porsche people.
Right.
Because in a way the little Datsun looks like an old school Porsche, like the
Uh
whole
huh.
long front end, the
The
little
way it
hatch in the
looks.
back and
Yeah. Yeah.
everything. But I've met some people with lots of money based
Yeah.
on the types of car they're driving.
Yeah.
Um, and it's so crazy because to me it's like they're way up here making all this kind of money. They're very successful. They driving this $500,000 car
Yeah.
to a car show, and I have my built $30,000 car that I'm taking,
Yeah.
and we can relate.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's like they went through this years ago,
Yeah.
and now they're somewhere else. So it's like it's one of those things
Yeah.
where you met that I've met doctors,
Right.
you know, chiropractors.
Yeah. Just
Uh,
because you
I've
guys have this similar interest of
similar
cars.
interests,
Right.
photographers, you know, just you know, restaurant owners. It's so crazy. It's like these
Right.
all these people that you think you would never connect with.
Right.
You guys just like you
And-
guys just mingle with it instantly, like over
Exactly.
something.
Isn't that so cool, bro? Because and you never know what those relationships are gonna do for you in
Yeah.
the future. You know, when they're genuine.
Yeah.
You just met somebody, you clicked off of similar interests. Who knows? Maybe later on they become a high end client for you, and you become their tech for their Porsches,
Yeah, yeah.
for their Porsche collection. So it's like, I've like me and Gmo, we've gone to a lot of networking events, and you meet some pretty successful people, and you start going. You get them on Instagram, right? And you never know what that's gonna lead to.
Yeah.
And really, what I've come to learn, bro, in real estate is your network is really your net worth, because I used to chase leads all the time. I used to be like cold calling strangers and stuff, and just talking to people cold. And then I came to realize that after a few years, and I look back at all the deals I'd closed, I'd go, all these deals I closed were actually for people I like know, or that know that, like in my sphere of influence, we call it. So it's like it's I learned that it's really about expanding my network. I gotta just make more friends,
Yeah.
right? Just make more friends everywhere I go, get along with people. And that's why I do things like this podcast or all my content, because when they go on my Instagram, they're gonna see, oh, look at what this guy's up to, right?
Yeah, but then like, at one point too, it's like you gotta make sure like these connections you make and the people you let in are genuine too, though.
Right.
Because a lot of people, they may seem cool, this and that, whatever, and then they're looking for something that you can
Right.
offer, you
Right.
know? And then
Exactly.
boom.
That's why it is kind of a strange space, because
Yeah.
like as a realtor, I get marketed to a lot by lenders and like title people or vendors, right? That are needed when people buy a home, and it's always like they're kind of. I know they're not coming to my open house to say hi and give me a high five. They want to see if I can do a deal with
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
They want me to send them a buyer. So it's just a trip, because it's not. It's really about providing value, bro.
Yeah.
Because like for example, shout out Al, the loan guy, right? My guy Al, he's a lender, right? That I've done some deals with. He would offer me videos, bro. I'd go, he'd do some videos for me, do some photos for me, and you go, oh, he did something different. I'm gonna remember him when I need something, you know.
Yeah, see,
So-
and then like when you see the videos and all that stuff, I've met a lot of photographers and videographers through the car scene,
Mhm.
and thank you guys for everything you guys have done for my Datsun, especially. You know, it's I'm very grateful for all that.
Yeah.
And you know those I've built some relations with those people that they're friends. Like,
Right,
like
exactly.
it's somebody you can just like call up, or it's one of those people. They're those people that you can maybe not talk for a month,
Right.
and then you see each other at a car show again, and it's like, hey, like,
Right.
how are you? This and that, this and that.
Right.
And it's like you guys just pick up right where you guys left off, like
Exactly.
a month ago, whatever, you know.
Exactly, bro.
And they're always there for you if you ever need anything. you
Right,
know?
right. It becomes exactly just expanding your network in that way can just bring back so much value in the future that you might not even just realize right now.
Yeah, and then you may, like, say, like, I know you, right? And then I don't know, like, the people that you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I may one day talk to you. Oh, hey, Eric, you know, I was looking at, I don't know, like, catering for my
Right.
mom's birthday or
Right.
something, and you're like, oh, I was like, I have a friend that does catering
Right.
for, and it's like this really good catering. It's like
Yeah.
you knew somebody I don't now, the people that it makes branches.
Exactly. And that's why I've always put a lot of value behind first impressions,
Yeah.
right? Because that's kind of where you have that opportunity. Because you get people's vibes, since people's vibe is off. Like I had this one guy, bro, come by my open house the other day. He's an inspector. Um, Nice guy, but he showed up just super like he might have been on drugs, bro. Like he just goes, "Hey, what's up, man?" Super firm handshake, bro. He was like bald, and his eyes were like super wide for some reason, and he was just like, "Bro, if you need inspections, let me know, man." And I didn't like his vibe, I'm like, I'm not gonna call
That's
you,
too
bro.
much.
You tend to connect with people who are like you,
Yeah.
right? So it's like people. I noticed that when I meet other professionals that are young, like myself, like I connect with them. I'm like, man, they know what's up. They know what's up with my culture, with the music, with the
Yeah,
things that I
yeah.
like, and it ends up just becoming more fruitful in the end. Um, and then I did want to touch up, bro. I know we've been talking about the Porsche culture, your Datsun, but you also have your Jeep, and that's a whole other like culture of car. There's like a subculture
Yeah, it's
within the car community.
two completely different.
Yeah,
I guess you can see it now. Now it's like the way I look at it, it's like they have their seasons.
they have their seasons.
I can't drive that. I can't drive the Datsun in the winter. It's just
Yeah,
it's too dangerous.
right, right.
And then the Jeep is just my go everywhere, take road trips.
Yeah, the
Go
Rubicon,
mountains.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that shit's tight, bro. I love that.
Thank you, thank you.
That was the first when I first hung out with you. I think we did a look on Nasala right here, and you brought the Jeep, and you didn't have the doors on it.
Oh, it was all naked,
and
no top, no doors.
And this was my first time ever riding in a car like that. We got on the freeway. I'm seeing the freaking the
The
road
lanes
and
right
the
there.
rain. I'm like, damn, bro, I'm gonna fall off. you know. But that's cool, man. I love the shit you do, Aldo. I appreciate you, bro.
Thank you.
So my next question here for you is like, what's your ultimate goal, bro? Like, own a shop. You've told me other technicians who just have a bunch of cool high end clients. They just manage a few high end clients and that's it. What's like your ultimate vision and goal on this, bro?
My ultimate vision.
Yeah.
With the whole car thing.
Because I know you're gonna accomplish it, bro.
With you have to.
Because you know why? You read that?
You have to be goal oriented.
Exactly.
You have to have an end goal. I can't say I have an end goal to where it's like, once I'm done with everything, like this is what I want to do type of thing. Like,
right.
But I do want to get to a point where you're just stress free. Just stress free. You don't want to have to worry about putting food on the table, putting food on the table of somebody else.
Right.
If some medical expense or some random, something happens, you can take care of it type of thing.
Yeah.
Not working
right
8, 10, 12-hour shifts for 5-6 days a week.
And how does that translate for you as a Porsche technician, bro? Do you just become the best Porsche technician? Is there like a lot of opportunity in your like where you are to go even higher, or what does that look like for you, bro?
So right now,
how do you get there?
As far as like the stuff that I'm passionate for, which is actually like working on cars.
Yeah.
There was tiers in the Porsche technician thing. There's a bronze levels, silver, and then gold.
Okay.
I've managed to work my way up to a gold technician now. So I'm kind of there already.
All right.
Aside from that, it's just like getting certified in the higher end cars.
Gotcha.
The Carrera GT, Porsche 918.
Gotcha.
You're one of the only ones that can work on those. Like if there's 15 people in the shop, there's 1 or 2 people that can touch those cars.
Gotcha.
That makes you more valuable.
100%.
Aside from that, you move to shop foreman.
Okay.
There's shops that have working shop foremen, which are they still work on cars.
You see yourself doing that?
Yeah, but not now.
Okay.
That's a lot of responsibility. Like I said, it's like I don't think now I'm ready to take on that stress. Okay. And there's people more qualified than I am at this point.
Is the foreman? So you're a technician. The foreman's in charge of you.
In charge of the whole shop.
So in charge of the whole shop, and you're in charge of 19 cars.
Yeah.
So he's in charge of all. Okay.
Making sure everything's going smooth.
If
there's an issue, it comes back to you.
Okay.
Type of thing.
Gotcha.
And above that is management.
Gotcha.
And I don't think I like management. You're gonna be in an office,
right? So do you ever see yourself owning a shop, bro?
You know what? I don't think so.
No?
Not a like repair maintenance shop.
That's us starting a business.
It's one of those things where it's like I'm so involved in cars right now and I like it, but I want to do something more with it.
Right.
And I think one of the things and another skill that I want to pick up is welding.
Welding. Okay.
Because that's one of those things where you can do so much with, whether it be the automotive
Yeah.
community or like my off-road, like Jeep side of it.
Right.
I can use it for both
Gotcha.
things. You know, build race cars, roll cages, custom stuff that people want built. Even if I want to change a direction in my career,
Yeah.
there's so many things you can do with welding, whether it be a city job building
Yeah.
skyscrapers or, you know, stuff like that. It's stuff that gets paid well if I ever decide, like, you know what, I don't want
Gotcha.
to do cars anymore.
Gotcha.
It's one of those like very valuable skills that I think,
Right.
and it's something that I think I know I'd like. You know, you get your hands, it's
Yeah.
handsy, you know.
I get you. I get you playing with fire. And bro, you talked about something really important, which is like freedom, financial freedom,
Yeah,
and
financial freedom.
being happy, not having to worry about where you're not living month to month, you're comfortable and you're good. Part of that, I see that, you know, you're gonna have a great income from your career, but me and you have talked about owning real estate, right? And you have your uncle Doug who owns property,
Yeah.
and he's probably a great example of owning assets to help you live that financial
Oh, yeah, for
freedom
sure.
life. So let's talk about, as far as, because there's a lot of people that do that. They'll have a great career and then they own property, that rental
Oh, yeah.
properties to fund their life. Is that something that you're interested in doing too?
Of course.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's money that it's an investment,
Yeah.
you know. Whether it be, you know, I just may buy my first house one day and live in
Yeah.
it for several years, and then, you know what, it's like I want something nicer, something bigger in another area or something.
Right.
Now I have, you know, you rent that one,
Right.
And that's just passive income, just come into
Yeah.
your pocket, paying
Yeah.
for your new home. You know,
Exactly. And I love that you have that mentality, bro, because I know you've also told me you did Airbnb for a bit.
Yeah, I did for a year.
You had some money, you had some money in Airbnb, and
Yeah.
you were messing around with that. So yeah, I think it's great, bro, the path you're going down, having that career and then multiplying it by buying assets.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I feel like there's always room for more.
Right.
You can always do more.
Right.
You know,
Do you get that anxiety, bro, that you're never doing enough?
all the time.
I have that anxiety
All the
so much.
time.
And my girl tells me, and she reminds me, bro, I'll be like, babe, like I have so much going on. Thankfully, man. All right, it's all good.
Like
And, you know?
sometimes we're at home with Destiny and
Shout out Destiny,
shout out my
by the
girlfriend
way.
Destiny. Hey. Sometimes we're at home and it's just in my own head, you know. It's like we're had a long day, work. We went to gym already.
Yeah.
Ate dinner. We're winding down.
Right.
But it's like sometimes we're there and I'm watching TV, an hour or two. I'm like, I could be doing something for at least
Right.
another hour.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
exactly.
what am I doing just sitting here?
I'm starting
You
to
know?
understand the senores, bro, that mow their lawn on a Sunday morning. I'm starting to get it.
There's always something to do. It's just
Right.
like, it's just getting up and doing it, you know?
Exactly.
That's the hardest part. You have to have the self-motivation or, you know.
I was talking about that with Sophie. Shout out Sophie. I was telling her, like, now that my real estate career is flowing a lot more, like in past maybe first 2-3 years of my career, I always felt I was chasing, okay, once I get a good flow of commissions, I know I'm gonna be at peace. I'm gonna be good. Like, I'm gonna have it going. Like, it's gonna feel good. But now that I'm kind of there, I'm realizing, like, another commission isn't gonna make me any happier.
Yeah.
Right? I'm learning that what I like is the chase. It's the pursuit of getting to that next goal. That's really what I'm enjoying, and I'm starting to feel like before I was trying to get out of that. Like, I want to stop chasing. I want to get there already.
Yeah, but
right?
you get there and you're like, nah, like I need this.
Yeah,
It can't end here.
Exactly. The fun part is the journey.
Yeah.
It's the journey. That's what and I'm learning because of that. I'm learning to appreciate it and go, man, it's the chase. That's what gives me the high. The fact that like real estate can be really really like an emotional roller coaster, bro. Is the deal gonna happen? Did the inspection go through? Did the appraisal go through? So you're like, yes, no the whole time.
Yeah.
And my girl told me, I don't know how you do it. And I'm like,
Getting anxiety just listening to it.
I've learned to love it. I'm
Yeah.
like, that's what that's why I do it, right? Because it's like, it's that satisfaction of it's not gonna happen, and then it happens, and then you think it's all gonna happen, and then it doesn't happen, you know. And I've learned. I told her, I'm like, you get on a roller coaster not because it's like go straight, you know. You enjoy the fun part. The fun part isn't going up and down, you know. So I love it, bro. I love it. I appreciate this conversation with you, dog. I'm gonna kind of start getting to my wrap up questions
Yeah.
here. I have a segment where I like to go to my guest's first Instagram post. I'm gonna go all the way down, bro. You have 144 posts, man. I should have prepared a little earlier, but I'm gonna have to scroll down a little bit. Let's see what you got going on your first
My first
post. Do you
post.
remember what it is?
I do not.
No,
It's
let's
probably
see what it is,
It has
bro.
to be car related, food related, or
Check it out. It's the Rubicon.
Hey, my Jeep. That's
Alright.
probably when I first got the Jeep.
Yeah, this is
2019.
June 13, 2020.
Oh, that's the following
Bro,
year.
you're out in the rocks, in the freaking mountains, bro.
It's one of those things where it's like I bought it to enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know, it's like a lot of people's like, "Dang, you're taking your new car, your new Jeep to, you're just gonna scratch it." It's not like. I want to see what it's capable
that's
of.
why
You know,
I
they
got
say
it.
it's capable of doing this. I want to see, for sure, with my own eyes.
Yeah.
And it's a trip too because you go in there and all these tight squeezes, drops and stuff, and you're banging stuff down there, and you're just like, and then you look back, you're like, I just went through that. Like, how?
Bro, you gotta take me and Gmo, dog, and do
I'm
that.
telling you, man, it's wild.
I've never been. That must be pretty like scary
It's
but
wild.
exciting, and that's what I'm talking about, right?
It
The
is.
ups and downs.
Yeah.
That's what. Are you gonna make it? The risk, the
Yeah.
adrenaline. That's what it's all about.
That's crazy.
Let's do one more, bro. What's
Let's do
going on
one.
in this one?
That's my 240.
That's a 240.
That's my 240. That's the one I regret selling.
This is the first car you had.
That's my second 240.
Second car.
Yeah.
Okay,
Actually,
gotcha.
I have. If you scroll up, I think not too far after that. There should be a picture. That's my dream car down there, by the way.
Which one?
That GT3 RS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Actually, maybe further up than I thought.
Okay.
I have a post where it's like all the cars that I've owned,
Gotcha.
and
Is it this one?
that's my white one.
That's the one we just saw.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
That's the one they got away.
Is this the Datsun before?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Gotcha.
the Datsun before.
Gotcha.
So it looked complete. It had a blue hood,
Right.
black like front lip.
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a cream.
You were already in love with it.
Yeah, it's just it looked like a little bucket.
Yeah.
I think it made me so happy.
Gotcha. Cool, bro. So that was the first Instagram post. We got a little taste of that. Now I have a rapid fire question segment.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Yes,
I'm gonna ask you some questions, and you just answer with the first thing that comes to mind.
Ooh,
Right, and just gonna let the people know a little bit more about you. Okay,
dangerous.
going out or staying in?
Staying in.
Don't lie, bro.
Yes, I'd like to stay in. I'd rather.
You be out,
No,
dog.
because you have friends, but it's like if you tell me, hey, let's go to this bar and party all night, and you tell me, hey, let's come kick back and like drink a couple brews and like cook something, I'd
Yeah.
be so down with just
You're
chilling
down,
and
bro. Me and you
cigarettes,
love to barbecue.
It's one of those things. It's like it's fun going out
Yeah.
here and there, but if you give me the option to just
Yeah.
chill, when I first started working there, I was 20, 21. We'd go out all the time.
Yeah.
And I can't say that was, if you asked
That
me
was
that question
good.
then, let's go out,
Yeah.
But now it's just,
I
I
feel
want to
you,
mellow
bro.
down, just
I
wind
feel
down.
you. Like
Chill.
I like to stay home and chill too, but I ain't gonna say no to a good time out with some friends.
It
I get
it depends. I don't know. It depends where, I guess, for me.
Gotcha.
Because there's certain vibes that I dig, and certain
Right.
vibes I'm just like,
yeah,
it's
you
too
don't like
much.
you don't like going to the mosh pits with me, bro.
It's too hectic. Like,
well, we'll go to the
people.
brewery though. And get some. You like the stouts?
I like
I
stouts.
don't
Love
like the
stouts.
stouts, bro. Give me a hazy. All right. Describe your style in 1 to 3 words.
simple.
All right, I like that. Go to fast food spot.
In and out.
All right. Overspending or oversaving?
Overspending.
There you go.
I wish it was the other one. Though. I wish I saved a lot more
Everybody
than
who
I do.
overspends wishes they were
Oh,
an
man,
oversaver.
dude.
Low key. All right. Your current favorite artist.
Ooh, J. Cole.
Nice. The way to my heart is.
Ooh. Damn. I was gonna say food.
I feel that.
I'll say food. You
All right.
feed me, I'm happy.
All right. I love it. Okay, cool, bro. A few more wrap up questions here. What big projects are you working on right now that you're excited about?
Big projects. Honestly, I'm at a point where I finished my big project.
Which was the Datsun?
The Datsun, yeah.
Okay.
Now I gotta find something else.
All right.
Actually, no. You know what? No, I'm kind of doing a little something with the Jeep now.
Okay. What are you doing to it?
I'm planning on doing the whole like facelift, I guess you call it, whole new suspension.
Okay.
So more capable off road. I want to
Gotcha.
I want to use that a lot more now.
Take
you
us
know?
off roading this
Let's
summer,
do it.
Aldo.
Let's do
Please,
it.
bro. Me
Yeah.
and Gmoe want to go.
We'll go.
Let's
For
go.
sure.
I want to know if I want to feel like I'm almost gonna die.
We'll go break and get stranded somewhere.
Yeah,
For sure.
let's do it, dog. All right. So that was, and then what are any big goals for 2023?
2023 this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully get into a home, man.
Yeah. All right.
Get to a home. Maybe not
That's
now,
a good
but
goal.
towards the end of the years, you know, it's one of those things where I don't want to rush it, but if it
Yeah.
can happen, you know.
You know who to talk to, my boy.
Hey.
Any shout outs or acknowledgments?
Everyone I've met, honestly, everybody's had some type of impact in my life,
Yeah.
whether it be in cars, you know, my work and
Yeah.
friendships. Like everybody's filled a little piece of
Yeah.
me in a certain way where everybody has
I
made
hear.
a difference.
Shout out to all the people that
Yeah.
love Aldo. He loves you too. And where can people follow you or learn more about you?
My Instagram is probably the only thing I'm honestly active on.
Yeah.
It's a Koki Muncher, Kouki Muncher.
All right.
Right.
Why'd you pick that again?
My first 240, the body style, the front end was Koki,
Okay.
and it just sounded like
A cookie.
Cookie, like
Gotcha.
Cookie Muncher. Like I love Oreos.
It makes sense,
Cookie
bro.
Muncher.
I love cookie.
All types of cookies.
Cool, bro. So I appreciate you coming out on this episode, Aldo. You're my first car enthusiast on the show. That's a whole nother community of people that I'd love to tap in with, you know?
Yeah.
So thank you once again, bro. My name's Eric Claudio, your favorite realtor, aka Cloud E or non-generic Eric. Because I keep it real with you. Thank you for enjoying this episode of Let's Get Real. I'll see you guys next time.
See ya.